Slack time, as we researchers define, is the time in your day that you have after your work and after your necessary chores and also after your physical requirements, so your sleep. What motivated me to look at slack time was actually personal experience. When visiting these rural areas in India, investigating innovation adoption, why people in these areas are innovating, adopting innovations less than elsewhere, I personally experienced the inconveniences of the poor infrastructure. Roads were washed away after the monsoon, there was no indoor plumbing, and I could see how living under these conditions permanently can soak up a lot of your free time. In the developing country context, people have tried to introduce many innovations to rural populations, but they are not adopted at a rate that is as high as you would think. Now we have this idea of linking slack time to your innovation adoption. They do not have so much time to think about and to process and adopt such new innovations. What we did as a study to investigate this potential slack time constraint was we looked at an NGO who is in rural India trying to spread new ways of farming, new ways of raising livestock, better ways of planting seeds. And at the same time, we went and did our own survey and looked at how these farmers spent their time every hour of the day. We went and asked over 1,000 farmers what they did from the time they woke up in the morning until the time they went to bed at night. So we collected an hour-by-hour log of what they spent their time on. The results of the study in relation to slack time and innovation adoption is that for every extra hour of free time, slack time that you have per day, you are adopting innovations such as better planting techniques at a rate of about 7% higher. So every hour translates to 7% more innovation adoption. Now you can achieve this extra hour or extra 2 hours of slack time by having better infrastructure. So if you have irrigation in your town, well, great, you have more free time. If you are closer to the town center where you can run your errands, that frees up free time as well. If you have a school in your village, that frees up time for the women especially due to the childcare. If you think about the number of slack time hours an American typically has, on average that's about 4 to 5 hours. So 5 hours of slack time, that's 35% innovation adoption. For one of these poor farmers, they only have 1 hour, 7% innovation adoption. So the difference there can be almost 30%. And that can account for a large fraction of the differences that we see between developing and developed countries. The key takeaways of the research can be threefold. If you are a company that relies on innovation, the application is do not work your employees, do not pack their days with so much routine work that they do not have the slack time to think about new ways and better ways of improving your product, your business, your processes, and so on. You should give them some slack time. And some companies have successfully adopted this. Google, 3M are famous for allowing their employees the slack time to innovate. Secondly, if you're in the developing country and you're building infrastructure, such as a bridge, the benefits of the infrastructure can be far greater than just the people who can now walk across the bridge. The time that these people are saving by going on the bridge rather than going around the lake of water is being put to productive use. And lastly, for you as an individual, if you want to be more productive, the implication is that you should take some time out and be a little more, taking it a little more easy.